and they was falling into idolatry. And God said, Jonah, go to Nineveh. Preach to them that if they turn from their wicked ways, and if they lean not to their own understanding, and they look back to me, that I will heal their land. And Jonah was commissioned to do this, but Jonah had other plans. If you know the story, Jonah turned and ran from the face of God. He didn't want to go to Nineveh. He didn't feel like he needed to be preaching to such a city that was so wicked and evil. He felt like it was above him or beneath him to go. And this is like some of us today. God has told us to do some things, and we make up every excuse not to do it. The Bible tells us to love our neighbors, and despite of how they use us. And sometimes we can come back and say, well, I'll only love them if they respect me, and I'll only love them if they treat me right. But the Bible says love them despite how they treat you, and that's that agape love. And that agape love said, even though you treat me bad, I'm gonna love you anyway. And even though you may not understand what you're doing, I'm gonna love you anyway, because you're a child of God. And I know that God can change anything about you. So we should never give up on our people. And we should never give up on those loved ones. We should always have something in our heart. And if we have Christ in our life, we have that love, that ability to love despite of. We can always, and even in this world today, there are some kids, and I was talking about this last Sunday in Dallas. I was preaching, and the Spirit just came to me, and I was like, Lord, I don't know why it's going this way, but somebody needs to hear this. And I was talking about the kids and the state that our kids are in this world, and how they want everything but don't want to work for nothing. They think the world owes them things. And I don't know, I'm not that old, I'm 30, but yes ma'am and yes sir was just a part of our life. You know, it was just respect. You're supposed to just show respect to your elders. And sometimes we get into this place where this world is teaching or trying to give their kids things that they didn't have, and all of these worldly things and all of this stuff, and we're getting them addicted to things. And the problem is that we forgot to give them the things that we did have, and all of those things that we learned growing up, how to respect and how to work for what you have. We're missing the point. We're missing the mark, and our society is in a bad place. Not just in Vidalia, but in Dallas and everywhere else. It's amazing. I mean, we won't even speak to each other. Sometimes you walk by one of us, and you know, we'll look the other way. And I'm finding this everywhere. We was coming down here, we stopped in Mississippi, and it was, I'm on the same aisle. I mean, it's like purposely, I don't know if it was because I was dressed. You know, you look the other way. I mean, like you're better. And it shouldn't be so. It's a shame and a disgrace. And sometimes I get frustrated with our people because we get some things in this world. We get some titles, and we may be manager of this or supervisor of this, and we look down on where we came from. We should never forget where we came from. We should never forget what God picked us out of. We all are like filthy rags. We are barely making it in. All of us struggle with something. We should never get to that. And if you say you're without sin, the Bible says that you're lying and the truth is not in you. Some people sin without even knowing it. That's right. But when you come into the knowledge of God, some of those sins that you didn't know are revealed, and all of us struggle with something. Everybody struggles with something. And I know if everybody keep it real in here, you may don't think you do. But you do. There's something. Maybe you have a quick tongue. You know, maybe you should be responding in love, and you're responding with a flip mouth. That's not godly. That's not the way it should be. Everybody has something that they're dealing with, and we should realize that we are a work in progress? Everybody is a work in progress, and we should show love despite of. And Jonah didn't have this love for Nineveh like he should have, because they were God's people, even though they was doing things that was against God. And in this Christian journey, we have to realize that our blessings are tied to our obedience. And sometimes in this life, we have a place, and God takes us to a place where he has to sit us down. And we get so fast, and we're moving in this world, and we're doing these things and trying to achieve these things. And we're more concerned today about our status in this world than our status in the church. Can somebody